at 9 o'clock. I am Mavis Atodume. Enugu State Governor Peter Mba has signed into law the bill to create a one-stop shop for tax collection and administration in Enugu State, thereby ending multiple taxation. The new legislation also makes the Revenue Collection Agency autonomous and free of bureaucratic encumbrances. And on the national scene, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on Tuesday arraigned 11 Chinese nationals over alleged allegations of cyber fraud, identity theft, and attempt to destabilize Nigeria's constitutional structure. The defendants were arraigned before the Federal High Court in Lagos. They pleaded not guilty to the charges. The development comes only a day after the anti-graft agency arraigned 42 Chinese and Filipinos for similar offenses before the same Federal High Court in Lagos State. Still in the news, the federal government has officially commenced to toll operations of the Abuja-Lafia-Makodi Road Corridor as part of efforts to repay the $460.8 million loan obtained from the China Exim Bank for rehabilitation and upgrade of the road. Motorists using the highway will now pay tolls ranging from 500 naira to saloon cars to pay 1,600 naira for multiple axle vehicles, while police and military vehicles are exempted to enhance their operations within the nation. And now in business news, the dollar to naira black market rate for today is buying at 1,590 naira and it's selling for 1,611 naira. The dollar to naira CBN rate for today is buying at 1,496 naira and it's selling for 1,697 naira. Still on the national assessment, the federal government says it will issue bonds worth 758 billion naira to clear accumulated pension debts in the nation. This includes debts owed under the old defined benefit scheme before the introduction of the contributory pension scheme in 2004. The Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria has alleged that oil producers are diverting the daily 500,000 barrels of crude oil meant for local refineries. The association said this while commending the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission for banning the export of crude oil allocated to local refineries. Petron said this move is expected to boost local refining capacity, reduce the importation of refined petroleum products, and ease pressure on foreign exchange supply. And in sports, former tennis world number one Simona Halep has announced her retirement on Tuesday after her first round defeat at the tournament in her native Romania. And lastly, Santiago Castro has been fired from Bologna into the semifinals of the Italian Cup with the only goal in Tuesday's 1-0 win at Atlanta. And that is the news. Thank you for joining us. I am Mavis Atudume.
Volt 104.3 FM.
Good morning and welcome to High Voltage. Today is Wednesday and it's of course the 5th day of February 2025. I don't know, something about it feels really good. I have a good feeling. So keep your hopes up today. Do some self-affirmations, do a few things that are very uplifting today. You might find out that it makes a difference. Welcome to the program. I hope you have gotten up and that you are on the road or already at work and that you've started making very productive use of your day, because I have. All right, welcome to the program. My name is Mavis Atudume. This is Newspaper Reviews Analysis, and of course, general ideology exchange. Let's find out what it is that's happening, because every day in our country is something interesting going on. I don't know if you have kept up with the trends, because news these days have become trends, right? So most times you really need to catch up on most national issues on the internet, funny enough. And it turns out that if you're probably not internet savvy, you are mostly missing out on some of the most important changes happening globally and around the world. Have you heard about the rumors? Not necessarily rumors, because the person of David Hundein was able to provide us with documents that proved that the USAID has been playing some weird games. It's unbelievable what's been happening on the international news scene since last night. People like Kelly Miller has been retweeting and commenting. Most top elites in America have started commenting because the documents that David Hundeyin, the private Nigerian investigator who is in the diaspora, who lives in America, has been making some really dangerous exposures about the connections between the Washington, D.C. and some of the events that took place in this country 2015, indicting people like Obama, and of course putting a lot of people under the table. We're talking religious leaders, that is the Daddy GOs. A lot of people are under the bus with the revelations that David Hundein have made about the aids we are receiving and what they are really about, how they are about money laundering and listen, those documents, you should look at it, okay? We're going to put it up on High Voltage News because we're live on YouTube. This program goes live on YouTube every morning. Please, we are trying to gather our subscribers. We're trying to take it, international. So please do us a favor to like, subscribe, and share. You'll be doing Vote FM a very big one. All right, thank you very much. You can also call into the studio to analyze these events with me. I mean, there's a lot going on this morning, from the Dangote Petroleum to the USAID to Ohaneze Ndibo. It's going on. It's going on. And of course, the Igbo Business Development Union that the president has created. A lot is going on, so we're going to dive right into it. The numbers to call to join me this morning are 0706 048 5853. You can also call 0915 5708347 to be a part of the program this morning. Please, you can text these numbers, and you can also WhatsApp any of these numbers as well. Let me quickly take you to the Punch newspaper this morning and tell you that the first thing on the news is that marketers may dump the NNPCL as price war with Dangote rages. That's what I call business 101. All right, experience will always tower whatever shenanigans you have going on. There are practicalities, there are things that are principle. If you do them, it works. You put a little bit of that competition in the market, you crash the prices. It's really that simple. Everybody starts to struggle. Everybody starts to tweak and tweeze as well. It's business, okay? So for the first time, I'm encouraging this. May they continue to wobble between themselves, and may the prices continue to come down so that Nigerians can see that there are really options, because sometimes when some of these policies are made, it's as if it's written in stone and nothing can change them. But apparently that market can be fluctuated. It can be dabbled with, like every other business in the world that follows business principles. You see how that works? Right. If things work properly here, if we follow basic rules and leave things the way they are supposed to be, I mean, by standard, we should get premium results. But because we don't let things actually happen the way they should, we tend to manipulate things, and then we get the wrong result, and it makes us look really bad. But kudos to the Dangote refineries. Good prop for the market. I mean, this is how I think it that's what it sounds like on paper. Maybe something else is going on, which is why you come in, all right? Because this is just a one-sided view of things. I'm just telling you what this implies, right? But there could be other sides to it. There could be other hidden things. There could be other ways at which another person might perceive these things. And that is why we must share all of these ideas together and see if we find reason from each other. All right, let's continue to review the news this morning. Government releases power tariff hike guidelines for discos. Yesterday, I told you that it wasn't going to happen because the federal government says it's not going to happen. But now, the government have released power tariff hike guidelines for discos. So eventually it's going to happen. So brace yourselves. The guidelines are going to probably discourse how this is going to be shared among the bands and all of that, but I think it's gonna happen. So everyone prepare to pay more for electricity, basically. All right, and the toll gates are going up, to monitor multiple taxations. Enugu State government is on top of that. The governor of Enugu State yesterday approved for general toll gate system, where some of the things that we're seeing on the roads are about to reduce. Listen. Don't freak out when you hear some of these policies. Believe me, they are quite sensible. They're reasonable, especially if they're done correctly. If they're done for why they are created, then it makes a whole lot of sense. If you were born in this country when toll gate was a thing, then you would remember it was an experience that you probably still want your children to also see, because it was very orderly. It made sense, and the usage of these taxations is also necessary. What are they being used for? People in Enugu have applauded Governor Mbah, because all of this is happening on social media. I've told you, all right? It's happening on social media, right? Most of these policies are first announced on these powerful people's pages. These things are quite necessary. You might not agree, but it's happening there. So before most of the papers and most of the dailies would have caught up to it, we have fresh information directly from verified accounts of these people. They posted themselves, so we get to see. So the governor posted yesterday, about 19 hours ago, right, about the approval of these toll gate system. And people in Enugu, comments from residents in Enugu and people who visited Enugu. I don't know if you know, but Davido is having a concert here this year. A bunch of people are going to be doing great things here. Enugu is looking really good to a lot of people from outside, attracting businesses and attracting people and, ideas. A lot of things are going to happen in Enugu now. That brings me to taxation, right? If taxes are done properly, people can benefit massively from taxation when they are done properly. And then the comments I was telling you that was in the governor's post about this toll gate system that he has approved now, is that it is good considering the infrastructural changes that Enugu people can attest to. It's not a facade. You can literally see it with your own eyes. So my point is the federal government has also taking up this ideology, So let's see what really happens with all these taxes. If it starts to be collected, would it reduce the number of nuisances we have on the roads? The young men in the streets who are on the roads, who obviously use this as a means of livelihood. Is the government going to try to rehabilitate or provide some sort of employment for them? Would they make employment available to such people? These are questions that are also supposed to accompany some of these projects. So I hope that the people who are running them are also putting things like this into consideration, because if it's not handled, those people who are doing that on the road will take other forms of extortion, which of course the citizenry and the indigents and residents of the environment are the people who get to feel the the if feel the rot if it doesn't work well. That's what I'm saying. Like they will go back to their communities and begin to commit havoc. I'm trying to put this in the lightest way possible, not to be offensive. All right. So please, I'm asking the governor to also consider this. If you're going to clean up the streets, please, can we do it properly so that we don't have a situation where it comes back and then there is consequences for doing the right thing. All right, let's continue to tell you that the Lagos State Assembly may write Tinubu over Obasa, says the GAC members. I believe at the time this story was written, they didn't know that this morning, the Lagos State Assembly had written to the president for removing Obasa as the Speaker of Lagos State House of Assembly. It is House of Representatives. It's real. The apology has been written, because the president made an order yesterday that Obasa be reinstated, and by this morning an apology letter has been written to the president apologizing for not removing him. And then you remember yesterday we talked about IGP Egbetokun and his retirement. Apparently he's probably not going to retire. He's probably going to sit still because the president has his preferences, and as chief of armed forces and the #1 citizen of this country, it turns out he has power to do some of these things. So there you have it. Cost of Japa, how young Nigerians battle hardship, debts, pursuing better lives overseas. Okay, so now that you've made this particular, now that we've made this headline, okay, what about Nigerians living in Nigeria? What about Nigerians living in Nigeria? Did you, I always like to remember last year when we made some very important analysis here, and we realized that the monies that had come into Nigeria from the diaspora in 2024 was part of the reasons why people were able to survive 2024. I'm sure that a lot of us like to pretend that the poverty here is not real, but a situation whereby just a few people are spent, because when you talk about the poverty that is hitting Nigeria, some people will tell you, have you seen that houses are being constructed all around? Have you seen that businesses are coming up? And I'm asking, how many people are doing these things you're talking about? Because I do have a saying that I read somewhere, that the monies that are missing in government are not missing, but actually missing in someone's pocket. Those monies that disappear, these numbers that I call out here, some monies, and they say it's nothing and it's been waved away. These monies are in people's pockets. So do we rather a few of us are doing well, where the vast majority of us can afford to eat? Does it make sense that a few of us can afford luxury? Does it make sense? I know, I understand the games of the world, I guess, maybe it's a dog-eat-dog world. People tell themselves too many things. But we're good people. I thought we were good people. Because during elections here, we're all about our religion, if it's Muslim ticket, if it's Christian, Muslim, and all of that. We demonize traditional religion in this country because we believe it to be evil. And then I tell you things like this. I wake up in the morning and I read you things like this. They're happening every day. And tomorrow I'm going to tell you different ones too. Connected to the old ones, but fresh updates. So how are we able to put all of this together? Does our religion really matter when choosing people to lead us? If truly we are not even religious, does morals really matter if truly we are not moral? We must add some honesty to this. We really must. Ahmadu Bello University gets a new vice chancellor. All right. NDLEA have arrested 251 suspects in 2024 in Benue State, says the Benue State commander. USAID places staff on leave as part of Trump's purge. Okay, so I told you about the expose from David Hunde yesterday about the USAID. Did I tell you that they deactivated their official X account? Immediately, those documents went viral on the internet and everybody could see it. Let me tell you, Africa has been scammed for years, apparently, from history, from the data at hand, right? But the question remains, why does Africa still allow herself to be scammed? Now, that's the question. Because we keep talking about this. The moment President Trump was inaugurated, one of the first things he said is no more AIDS. And we went on rampage because we don't even know. I've told us that we must try as much as we can to pay attention and listen and understand what it is that's going on, right? Apparently, these monies are much more than you can think about. And the things these monies are said to be used for are far from what they are used for. We're going to put up these the documents. You could see some of the pages that we are able to put our hands on. We're going to post them on High Voltage News on YouTube with accompanying story to give you a full detail about the USID saga and David Hundeyin, whom made all the expose in 2022-2021 prior to the 2023 elections in Nigeria, where it felt like an unfold, where we kept seeing everything he say manifest and things like that. But this is investigative journalism, and his life is in danger, right? But some people must speak the truth, you see. And then we also got information yesterday from Ebonyi State, where sources were saying that the Ebonyi State government was warned about the attacks that happened in Nkalaha on Saturday morning, and that nothing was done. Remember that the stories in the news yesterday mentioned that the people of Nkalaha said that they were warned to not go anywhere on Sunday morning. That is prior to the attack. They were warned on Saturday. So I'm wondering what this relationship is. And have you also heard that neighboring villages, that is people who have boundaries in Enugu, that's neighboring villages, Enugu and Ebonyi, are also being affected from what is happening in Kalaha, and they are leaving their communities. They are running out of their communities. The Igbo man says that when a finger touches oil, the possibilities of everybody getting affected is almost inevitable, right? So the insecurity of your neighbor is your insecurity, because if your neighbor is unsafe, you are definitely unsafe. It's really that simple, because we must learn to stop closing our eyes and saying, it's not me, it's not us, we're fine, for now, we're safe. No, you're not. If Ebonyi is not safe, Enugu cannot be safe. If you think that, then you're deluded. It sounds like a delusion, like you don't understand. If Anambra is not safe, Imo State is not safe, Enugu is not safe, Ebonyi is not safe. If Imo State is unsafe, that's as good as all of us. Because this is an interwoven environment. We are all sitting on the same landscape, landlocked together. We can go through each other's backyards. It's really that simple. We are at each other's backyards. Simple. People in Imo State can take a walk to Anambra State, and people in Anambra State can take a walk to Imo State. In Enugu State here, you can take a walk to each other's states. You know what I'm saying. So we cannot say that, oh, it's happening in Ebonyi, it's happening there. No, it's happening here. It's happening at home. So what happened in Ebonyi over the weekend is affecting people in Enugu now, and they are leaving their communities too. This is a plea to everyone who can change the story that I'm telling this morning. Please, can you hurry up? We don't have time. And can there be more work? Can there be more attention paid to this? Can we pay more attention to this insecurity? It's not funny anymore. Saying that people are being run out of their communities is not funny anymore. The story that came out of Nkalaha is almost abominable. We shouldn't allow those. We should not. And I think that the governors are probably sitting down. I really want to believe that they are, and that some serious thoughts have started going into this. How do we fix this? It's been going on for so long. It's been going on for so long. If you attacking communities that make sure that food gets into our markets, then what do we have left? Tolls, the story in Unkala is heartbreaking, really heartbreaking. We did a story on it, but found out we couldn't post it anywhere because the violations were unbelievable. And now, because you cannot have these kinds of information going about because of, the content they have in them, how do people know? These people said their telephones were taken away from them, their devices were taken away from them because they were also warned and threatened that if the media or the documents, the photos, the videos that they had managed to record got to the media, that they will come back for them. Have we become this audacious? Have our people become this unsafe in their own homes? And the military is being pointed? Can somebody say something? Can somebody do something? Can somebody help us? Can someone please help us and try to fix this? All right. So this is going out to Governor Mwifuru and Governor Mba. Please, sirs, please look into this matter. Look into this. You will make everybody happy. What is going on in Enugu State does not deserve this sort of story. We should encourage each other. Right? We should mirror each other. We should want to do better. This is not good for any of us. All right? You can call the studio lines 070-706-048-5853. Also call 0915-570-8347. To be a part of the program this morning, the phone lines are officially open. You can also join us live on YouTube at High Voltage News. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'm taking you straight to the Daily Post this morning. The first thing here is that many Nigerians believe that breast cancer is caused by spiritual attacks and witchcraftry. Experts in this field have shared their insights. Well, the story runs for days. You have no idea. All right, marketers are dumping NNPCL amid price war with Dangote refinery, says Hype Man. That's the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria. They are saying that it seems, from the look of things, that marketers are not looking towards NNPCL anymore. So I told you yesterday, if you are on the road and, you've purchased fuel within yesterday and this morning, can you do us a favor and give us an update on what the going price is this morning? Would like to do a check and see what's going on. I know it's still above 1,000, but we want to know if there has been significant representation in the market. We want to make comparisons. So you're open to tell us your experience with petroleum, and do you think it will necessarily come down with what the Dangote Petroleum Limited is trying to do? All right, undergraduates have committed suicide over hardship in Kwara State. Okay, continuing in the stories, superior power is needed to tackle illegal mining in Nigeria, says Oshomole. He continued to make his allegations, pointing ex-military generals to be conniving with people who are stealing our crude oil and stealing our natural resources in Nigeria. He continues to allege, and so far nothing has been said, no done. Nobody has been arrested, no questioned. All right, moving forward, NDLEA arrests 251 suspects for drug-related crimes in Benue State. I've told you this before. It was in the other news from the Punch this morning. The police and military make heavy personnel deployment for Emir of Fufore and his coronation. Okay, I also told you that Abu Zaria announces new VC, ABU Zaria. All right, so BUK land crisis, no land is worth human life, says Emir Sanusi. Okay, moving forward, Rivers It's been going on down there in Rivers State, right? Rivers, Okocha is planning to force Amechi out of party, says spokesman. And then, of course, in retaliation and in response to what you just heard, APC crisis, Amechi is not a failed minister. Eze replies Okocha. So, yeah, the story in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, is not backing down anytime soon. It gets more interesting as you continue to look at it. We have it all up on High Voltage News. Check it out. All right, subscribe, like, and share as well. Now, Zamfara PDP summons members and stakeholders to launch of zonal offices. Ned Nwoko will never allow Ovorovori and Okowa in APC. Omagege vows. All right, I told you the politicians are gearing up for 2027. Are you? Is the electorate ready for 2027? Does the electorate have a choice in 2027? Guba Post, don't use your money to scatter APC. Ganduje tells Anambra billionaires it's about to happen. All right, there is I wanted to use a slang from the TikTok during the Christmas where the young people were shouting that Osubirile. I think that is going to unfold in Anambra. We're about to see a bunch of things happen in Anambra State. But yes, the PDP, the APC has asked the Anambra people, precisely the billionaires in Anambra have been asked by Ganduje to not use money to scatter APC, right? Ganduje tells Anambra billionaires. I guess this is going to be interesting. All right, let's continue to look at the stories this morning, see if there's anything that's worth you knowing. More on the Daily Post. Nigeria's external reserves have dropped by $1.9 billion in 3 weeks. Is that a good thing? I don't know. What do you think? Well, share your views and thoughts with me this morning. Don't forget to keep your comments clean, simple, and civil. Let's not break any rules while we're trying to do the right thing this morning. All right. Let's also look at... see if there's something that you should know from the Vanguard this morning. If there isn't, let's take it straight to our investigated stories, where you're going to hear some of these stories in details, right? I told you about what happened in Ebonyi, at least to the best way that I could put it without breaking any rules myself. Now, Sahara reporters made a discovery yesterday, 15 hours ago. This document says, we alerted Ebonyi State Governor 4 days before deadly herdsmen attack, says Ohaneze youth. And the comments under this newspaper, Verified Daily, is quite heartbreaking, because the truth is that this is happening to real people. We must understand this. Yes, these are reported stories, right? But it doesn't negate the reality of the experience. These things that we're saying, these things that we are reporting, they actually happen to real life people. All right, real life people who communicate with other real life people. It can't be everybody lying. Somebody please try to help. Somebody really try to help. This is not okay. This is not okay. People in this community has a lot to say. They have a lot to say. They have a lot to say. Eyewitnesses, community members, they have a lot to say. The people of Nkalaha has a lot to say. And I hope someone pays them a listening ear and listens to what they have to say. All right, what I found on the Punch News this morning. I won't deny my Igbo identity, says Ohaneze, President General. You know, he is from Rivers State. And of course, his appointment and his election has caused a lot of problems with people disagreeing about his locality. You know, these things are quite important considering the association in discussion, that is the Ohaneze Ndigbo. Well, let me read you what the man says. Some people say they are from Benin, that their ancestry is from Benin. And I say that's fine, let's go there. We say that we have a relationship with Igbo. I am not going to deny my Igbo identity. anyhow you like. Talk from now till tomorrow. I'm not going to deny my ancestry. Why should I deny my ancestry? It's probably a long speech coming from the Ohanese President General, who is from Rivers State. We've had people like Governor Wike who have reiterated that they are not Igbos, and a lot of people from Rivers State have mentioned that they are not Igbos. But now that the Ohanese President General is from Rivers State, what then happens? So this conversation continues to go about, and the identity crisis that most people within the Southeast and South-South geopolitical zone has been a conversation that's been ongoing for a while, and people have a right to figure out their own identities by themselves. So I guess this is still something that the Ohanese Ndigbo and Ndigbo in general will probably have to continue to find a way to deal with it. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a very long conversation. All right, let me tell you about the one-stop shop for taxation in Enugu State in details, right? This article is titled Ends Multiple Taxation. Enugu Inland Revenue Services becomes autonomous. This is important. Listen, Governor Peter Mbah of Enugu State have signed into law the bill to create a one-stop shop for taxation and tax collection and administration in Enugu State, thereby ending multiple taxation. Entitled the Enugu State Internal Revenue Services, established and consolidated for revenue administration in the law in 2025. The new legislation also makes the Revenue Collection Agency autonomous and free of bureaucratic encumbrances. Speaking at the short bill signing ceremony at the Government House in Enugu on Tuesday, that was yesterday, Governor Mbah described the law as a milestone in his administration's quest to enable the ease of doing businesses and to make the state the premier destination for investment. Right? The man says, I recall several times that I have engaged the business community, the organized private sector, and the market women. They have all always complained about the multiple taxation. I have too, Your Excellency. People coming from everywhere with different types of government recipes and receipts to ask them to pay taxes. That will end from today, says Governor Peter Mbah. With the signing of this bill into law, we now have one revenue collection point, whether for the market women, for the organized private sector, and the different agencies of government. You would have a one clear point where you pay your tax, and you'll be issued with the appropriate receipt of payment. That means you no longer have any other person coming for collection of tax in your residence or your businesses. It is very important because one of the core indicators of the ease of doing business is to make sure that you have the ease of payment of your taxes and you do not have multiple tax channels where you are dragged to pay different taxes. According to the governor, the new law would effectively consolidate the revenues of the state and the local governments, with each tier of government getting what it's due to it at the end of the day, such is as obtainable in land charges and value-added tax, also known as VAT. The idea is that you have one point of collection, but the split is also done to the different tiers of government that is revenue is essentially due to. It is also important that we make this point very clear that this idea of the State Internal Revenue Service collecting on behalf of other tiers of government is nothing new. As some of you already know, the land use charge is paid to the local government, but collected by the state. So what we are doing is essentially to consolidate all other revenue types to ensure that there is just one point of collection. So this is a major milestone, and it will also help us to have a full line of sight to all the revenues we have in the state, says the governor. He has further explained that Enugu State Inland Revenue Service would henceforth become autonomous. All right, we're going to put this up on the High Voltage News. That's our new YouTube channel. The entire script is going to be there. Find out. Turns out this is actually good. So you don't have different people coming to your business area to ask you to pay for this, to pay for that, to pay for this. It means you're going to take yourself to the one-stop center. You will pay for your S1 bills, you'll pay for your environmentals, you're paying for local government, you're paying for whatever taxes you need to pay. You know how they go. So now you don't have all these different individuals coming to you randomly to say, pay for this, pay for that, seizing your goods, harassing you, because it's quite embarrassing if you've seen them do it before. So it means that all other channels and all other means of taxes, random people walking up to you and trying to say we are from here and we've been mandated to come and get this from you, it's over. The governor of Enugu State, His Excellency, Governor Peter Mbah, has ended that. So you can also share how you feel about this improvement. If you think it's an improvement, do you like the ideology? Do you buy the ideology? What do you think about this? Share your thoughts and views with us this morning. Welcome to the program. Your name and location, please.
Elvis, good morning.
Good morning to you.
That's a picture from Aguana Road.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. You should say our view concerning the consolidated tax.
That's right. What did you call it? The consolidated tax. Okay. Of course, you're in a better position to explain. You're an accountant. Make this clear to us. Yes.
The other thing is that if Mbah wants to use indirect way to bring back what we call joint account again between local government and state.
Whoa.
Because he's now going to collect the taxes that's supposed to be collected by local government. He put all of them in his own boss. And anything he likes, because those local government chairmen are being appointed in quotes by him. If we really have autonomy of local government, the state has no power to collect their tax for them. Now that he's talking about consolidation, can he now do the same thing with federal government tax? He can't do it now. He can't touch their own tax. The summary is that there are 3 tiers of government. Any tax paid by limited liability companies goes to federal government. The non-limited liability companies pay their own tax to state government. This phone is disturbing me. Let me switch off. Now,
all right.
the non-limited liability ones pay their own to state.
Oops. Okay, Mr. K, please can you call us back? It's a little distorting for everybody. Just rearrange and call back. I really want to hear what you have to say. All right. While we wait for you to explain to us, because I'm not an accountant, but of course this connection to the local government and trying to, oh my goodness. It sounds really interesting. I want to hear all of it. All right. Good morning to you.
Is it better?
Yes, it's much better. Please give us your name and location once more.
That's okay. From Aguana Road.
You're welcome.
As I was saying now, consolidating them, the only thing is that he's now going to bring back the joint account, which is what federal government has been trying to avoid.
Okay.
Separate money. That's the local government money from that state.
Yes.
But you now say you are the one collecting from them. How are they sure of how much that belongs to them? There are certain things somebody will do and they will start wondering how are you going to implement it. And what about the one that belongs to federal government? Because any tax paid by federal companies go to federal government.
Okay. So if he does pull this off, how do you think it will make the the federal government what is due to them? How will he send it over?
That's what I'm saying, that he cannot, it's not workable.
It's not workable.
It's not possible because if you go to some establishment now, take for example, if you go to SPEP, the Primary Education Board,
yes,
all those deductions they make from limited liability companies, the federal inland revenue will come there and collect their own check.
Okay.
Then those ones they make, those deductions they make from the non-limited liability companies, the state government, the Board of Internal Revenue will come there and collect their own check. So are you now going to write one check and give it to state government, the one that belongs to federal government? What is that mistake? What the effect is saying? And people are clapping. What is happening?
But
it's the one he's now talking about.
It sounds good. It sounds good on paper. It sounds good.
It's not good. It's not just a matter of good. It's not possible now. We're talking. Then what is he going to tell the Federal Inland Revenue Services that they should not fold their hands? They will not go and collect their own tax. There are certain laws that you make. We know that it is just a man just want to play to the gallery. It's not possible. There are certain things that are not workable. That's the point I'm making. It's just like when they were talking about anti-open grazing law. And they have passed law, there will be no open grazing law. Open grazing. Are they not grazing openly now? So I feel for the masses because many of them will just laugh when a law is made. The trouble is what? The implementation. There are certain laws you make and you know that it is not workable. That's the point I'm making, Melvin.
Yeah.
Yes. So let us watch what happens in the next maybe few months. You see what I'm talking, that is not workable. Is he going to tell the Federal Inland Revenue Services not to go and collect their tax? No problem. The only one he can pick is that of the local government. You see? And if we succeed in picking it, then he will not handicap the local government. They will stay there and they tell him to give them money. They can't talk to him now because he appointed them. So, in as much as it will be good for the taxpayers who stay, he does come there and they collect the money. It's not good for the third tier of government and the first tier, which is federal government, will not even agree.
Okay. But it has been like it's happened already. You know, it's been signed.
Look at the point I'm making. That should be their law.
Yes.
Let's watch out before it's not working.
In the next phase. Okay. So what do you think about the Dangote market business? Do you think that,
like you said before, it's always very good.
Okay.
To always bring that price. And then if you look at even the 50%, the reduction in price, it will still go down more.
It will still go down.
Competition is nice. The more people, especially federal government, focus more refineries, refurbishes more refineries, the better for this country. Like so much like that.
Thank you very much. Because you made these predictions earlier. I remember last year when this whole Dangote conversation came up, you know, when the refinery, you remember Dangote, there was a time Dangote was crying in the news. They wanted to deal with him. He was crazy, you know, but during that time, some people made certain predictions about, you know, things like this happening and how much it will help to reduce the price of the product. And from the look of things, someone like Dangote has already put that into motion. And as you can see, marketers are crying, importers are crying, everybody's crying, people who have been importing. And of course, it's been in the news also that we're still bringing in petroleum that was mixed in Malta, you know. So all of this, some of them have been importing at very high price, and that's why they need to sell at high prices as well. But with these price reductions coming from all of these other factors, maybe, don't dream, just stay up. But you know, it's something to look out for. In a few months, we'll see what happens, right? Senator Ojuzo Kalu of APC has been appointed the chairman of the newly created Senate Committee on Southeast Development Commission, SEDC. Okay. I will give you more details on this information in a moment. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Greetings to you.
Yeah, good. The masses coming from Enugu.
All right. You're welcome.
Yeah, the undergraduate committed suicide in University of Ilorin. Am I right?
Kwara State, yes, Ilorin.
Kwara State, yeah. The other day we had a medical doctor in United States of America.
Yes.
People committed suicide and killed himself.
Yes, that is
suicide. True. People should understand that suicide or one taking away his life is an abomination. Whether the Holy Bible condemn it, the tradition could condemn it. On no account should one take away his life. On no account.
But what if they have reasons?
If you digest the student, it's even exposed to university environment. The one in America is exposed to US environment. If you look at it critically, you will discover that you may not even be among the 1,000 students that are very poor in that university. University is you rubber minds, you bring a solution to complicated problems. You try to make a complex situation simplified. That's the university. There are people that are so poor, they want to get into the university so that their problems can be solved.
But what if these people have... I wanted to ask you, what if these people have other problems that are not necessarily physical? What if they have mental problems or mental issues that they might be dealing with?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mental problems, sometimes, like the scenario the guy painted, it's not even mental. The mental problem.
The young man in America?
That's the sense of being a brother's keeper, trying to find out, because before mental problem can degenerate into that condition, it is very, very easy for people to identify and know that, yes, this guy is having mental problems. That one aside, the issue of people committing suicide, let me tell you, Zuckerberg, the person that developed Facebook, he was an undergraduate when he brought up the idea. People get ideas and the economic problem can even be solved by some undergraduates. They can bring a solution to the problems, propose solutions.
But why do you assume it's economic problems? Because you just mentioned that these people
that is what you can go through that report very well. You can digest the report. Are you with me?
I'm here. I'm right here.
Yeah, you can digest the report. He said that he lost a father or whatnot, and the roommates have been helping him, feeding all that. Just go through the report.
Yes. In Kwara State, the young man said it was hardship and he was tired of everything. True.
Yeah.
You're correct.
On no account. You have a scenario where somebody that has no shoes wanted to commit suicide, and somebody who has no legs told him, my man, you want to harm me. You don't have shoes. You want to commit suicide, but somebody survive without legs. So on no account on earth. Today, maybe.
Oh my. Okay. We don't have a lot of time, but I have about 5 minutes to spare. If you call, please try to use 1 minute and see if we can do anything with it. But hey, we must really admit that this, we could do better as a people. We really could, right? Create jobs, try to help reduce the prices of things in the country. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. You're welcome. Please, your name and location.
Calling from Enugu here.
Good to hear your voice. Good morning.
I think it should be a wake-up call to our government. Our government should be proactive now and reduce spending and focus on building the economy, building SMEs, and taking welfare of their citizens. Because all these falling is now that are no longer coming. Very soon, in less than 6 months, it will reflect to all the hospitals and all families in this country. I call on government to wake up and do the needful by judiciously using the resources we have available to better for our people. That's one side.
Okay.
Second side, on the issue of killings in the Kane also. It's very unfortunate that somebody or people can take up arms and kill fellow citizens without any justification. As far as I'm concerned, there is no provocation that can be justified such a mass killing of people. It's completely unacceptable. And like what I tweeted this morning, I don't know what our country has become to. I was watching, is that in Sweden where they killed 10 persons? It's making news all over the place. Everybody, the whole country is running helter-skelter.
Of course.
But here, hundreds will be killed and everybody will be going normal business. Government will be doing normal business. Everything appears to be normal.
I hear you.
This is unacceptable.
I hear you.
Completely unacceptable. And let me just inform the government. It is true that government owns the coalition of force. Nobody will allow his own community to be slaughtered like that, and he will keep quiet. Let this message get to, is it DSS, whoever is in control in that place. These are people's father, uncle, wife, mother are being slaughtered. Let them not think people will keep quiet. They can't keep quiet, and don't expect them to keep quiet. Because people that killed them didn't come from whom. They are known. So, and this has been happening. And it appears maybe the government, the government there don't want to say something because the suspected killers have more federal affiliation with those in authority.
Wow.
I call on them to protect this democracy, which they're enjoying very well with their family and colonies. Because if this should continue, an ordinary man on the street doesn't want to know whether ordinary man wants the protection of his life and property. He doesn't want to know whether it's democracy or anything. If military comes in, we will embrace them. If they will not protect us, our military will protect people. How can they slaughter? This is a human being. For Canada, this is a human being. Slaughtered in such a number.
All right, Barrister, please. I hear your emotions. Please calm down. Thank you so much, because I'm very short for time.
If you have a relation, if you can engage with a relation, you will see how grieved they will be, how pain they are now.
I understand. I have to let you go for lack of time. Thank you so much for calling in, sir. All right, listen, the people in Nkala also mentioned that they were asked not to retaliate. The governor, Francis Nwifuru, himself also made a statement officially in the news and has asked the people of Nkala to not retaliate and wait for the security agencies to do their jobs. For how long will the people wait when they are losing? They are the ones on the losing side. Anyways, we'll continue this conversation tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. till 10. Please try to keep a date with me. Let's understand what's happening and see if we continue to scream and cry out, maybe someone would hear us and maybe someone would do the right thing. All right? Please try to be nice to yourself today and take care of yourselves. Good morning.
Sports.